Hey friends, Dan from All About Mini Bikes, and here to talk about our.
Hey friends, Dan Przowski from allaboutminibikes.com, and I want to talk about our homemade from scratch build, the Little Red Racer, and why we built it the way we did and what we did, the whys and the hows, because everybody will say, they've already said, well, why didn't you do this to it or do that to it, meaning a bigger engine or some kind of suspension or something, but that wasn't the idea of this. The idea for this was to keep it kind of old school, the bike to keep it old school, with a little bit of newness stuff in it. And I'll explain that later. So I wanted it to be a kit was what we wanted to do for to put together a father and son, daughter, whoever, anybody, just a guy or a lady putting it together. So that was the important part, to keep it simple as we could, reliable. And we're not looking for a bike that goes 70 miles an hour or anything like that. Just something like when I had my first mini bike in the very early 70s, 72, 73, just ran around on it, had fun on it, and it wasn't too complicated. So that's what I tried with this frame. And so I kind of made it's a simple frame here. And we had a couple different ways, but I ran for the rear axle. My buddy's a tool and die maker. He made these. So I've got cutouts of that. I was going to go with a clutch with the clutch brake, but I opted not to just because I had this. So we're going to experiment with different ones, but I ended up going with a regular drum brake. We got the clutch guard from either OMB, I think maybe had this. I'm not sure. We got stuff from OMB and from Go Power Sports, and so we painted it up and we had our decal, Little Red Racer, put on there. Now, another trick thing that I did, or not saying trick, because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I wanted to keep it old school with the pegs just being a bar. But as I was walking out to actually go get the bar cut, I thought about it. I had these here, and so what I did, check this out, this you can screw out. Now you'd have another bolt right here. Say you want it out this far, and you'd tighten it up so you'd get no wobble. But I think I got like about an extra 3 inches where this comes all the way out. So somebody with a bigger foot, or most importantly, I'm going to put that back in. So you'd have another bolt right here. So let's say you wanted to come out this far. It comes out about 3 inches. Just tighten that bolt. Can you come up on that one, hon? Mm-hmm. Come up on the bolt, tighten it up there so that it would just stay in place. But I don't know, I thought it up, so we cut the bar, we put our nut in there, we welded it in, and then this went right in. So I really thought that was a good idea, and I like the reason for this because when you come here, I'll just swoosh this like this a little bit. The reason why is on this side. So we ran a 79cc motor from Harbor Freight. Most people want to use the 212, and then it sticks out a couple more inches, which then takes away from here. So in reality, you could go bring this out about 3 more inches it would go. So that would give you the extension you needed. So that was the one thing I kept on here. The idea was that if we produce these frames and sell them, you could easily fit the 212 Harbor Freight model with plenty of room up here because it's taller also. And everybody has complained that if they leave the gas tank on the 212 that they can't get the cap off. They got to bust the inside out. So that's purposely why I did that. So I want to say I got the throttle hookup from OMB. I'm sorry, from Go Power Sports, and I think I got the clutch guard from OMB. And then we just did, for simplicity, so anybody could do it out of their garage. It was just rattle can spray paint was what we used. You got to get your color in the right one. Get sure you got the primer. I'll talk all about that later on and do that. That's the basics of that. And so the whole idea behind this was to keep it simple as could be, really, really simple as could be, and something somebody else could do. So we've made mistakes too, because we did a lot of hand bends, and we had machine bends. So you got to contact people or places around you. So here's one I failed on. This right here was a bend I did. So it's not a total failure, but you can see these bars come in. So I'm going to try to separate them. I'm just showing we had a lot of trial and error on here. But we're starting a new one. Here's for the bars. Now we had a machine bend, so this would be just slightly smaller than this one. We like it. but I love the way it comes back. And I'm going to find a way for people who want to build the plans that this will actually be drawn out on the piece of paper, and they could take it anywhere that there's a pipe bender if they can't bend it themselves, and they could tell the degree of the angles right off from that, besides it also being on the paper. So anyway, we've got a lot more coming down the line. We may produce these frames and sell the frames and the forks. All our pieces are here. These ones actually this time were handmade, but what we're going to do to sell them is we're going to start, we'll do a bunch of them and we'll laser cut these pieces, all the pieces. We've got necks already. We've got about 50 of those already because of the tubing, but we're going to do that, sell the pieces all together as a kit. And next one we build may have the clutch brake. We don't know. Again, I'm always experimenting, playing around, doing things with both bending by hand and with people who have a machine hydraulic, because that sure is easier. But anyway, thanks for watching. And if you got any questions, just comment. Please share the video with your friends. Please subscribe if you're not, and just stay looking forward for more that we have coming. I'm going to take it for a ride now.